I've restarted the computer, sitting at the desktop. I did bring up YouTube here so I could watch a previous video. I haven't actually watched it. Got 21 seconds in, and I figured I'm being cheap. So let's start this. Had the 3 pointers that we were interested in, that we thought may have values, and we're just going to start up the game. We're going to just click continue. And you can't see it, but man, I'd hate to have to think about what I'm going to have to engage in if this doesn't work. Do continue. Go here. We haven't actually attached it to anything yet, but just a quick sort of, a pro tip. Okay, not a pro tip, but a tip is even when you click on the process here and then you click open, it's going to say, do you want to keep the address list? You'll know instantly if you have it because these will auto-populate. So there you go. Before we even clicked yes, I'm going to get rid of this one because this first one was the same one that went down the drain when we restarted it in the previous video. Go here. We have 29 karma indeed. We have 29 karma. We have 29 karma. So you know what we're going to do is we're going to be really pedantic about it. Do we instantly want to publish this table? No. Now you really want to start jumping into some of the crazy, the menu stuff and the manage code stuff. So, we opened up the PDAs. It's still 29. It is. Now we want to do that. Is it still 29? It is. They are. Now we're going to go here. Are they still 29? They are. It's just, we're not even going to confirm it. We're just going to click it. We're at 26. Now we have more of an idea that if we wanted to refine this value or something like that, that we don't have to go to confirm. Let's see if we can maybe prove that point a little bit. All right, so now let's do that. All right, so maybe again, it's not all cut and dry here. So you got 96 and 96. Do that. This value is not reflecting it because there's some value here for this menu that is storing a value separate than what the actual player karma is. I imagine there's maybe some code where it's saying, available karma during this menu, or some crazy variable name equals player karma, and then it's launching into a loop or something like that where it's waiting for events and whatnot. And these player karma values here is not the driver. What the driver is when you enter this menu, not when you exit it, or I'm sorry, not when you deal with it. Let's rephrase that. The driver of this value up here is when you enter it, that it reads the value from the player karma. And so I don't really know how else to say it. Let's see what happens. We sort of messed around with this a little bit earlier. Let's exit out and see what we get. We bounce back down to 29, which is interesting. That value goes invalid for a second, but then comes back. So let's continue with our little testing here. Again, when you have found it like this, are you going to immediately jump on forums that I have a table, I have a table? No. Now's when you sit down, you really think about how many ways can I break my own table. This is kind of the part of it that I enjoy, actually. I enjoy finding it. I really enjoy finding it, especially when I'm recording it live. Or not live, but especially when I'm recording it, makes me look like I kind of know what I'm doing. Especially because we're, way out in the weeds there for a minute, or at least I was. But breaking it is what I really enjoy. 26, they both change. So when we exit back out, even if we change this, we change this one. Let's change this one to 100, see what we get. All right, so they both immediately are reflected. So let's exit back out now, and it's 29, 29. So neither one of those. All right. So when we exit out, it's taking the available karma in that menu and associating it with, or assigning it to whatever this is. Let's see if there's any difference. Can we do that? No, we can't. What is it? 18, A8, and 10. 18, no, F8, A8, and 10. So that's the same. D4 and A0, those are the same. It's a slight difference in the offsets here. 8D, 72, E8. 8D, 3428. That's probably the difference here. I'm almost sure that's the difference here. We could bust out a calculator and figure it out if we wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. So again, as we were sort of messing around with this, when we thought we had it before, you could change that to 100, and it'll only be reflected because it's sort of an entry mechanism. When we enter this menu, it pulls the value out of the current player's karma, and then that's what available karma becomes. And then when we click confirm, you can see that now we have 96. So there's probably, or not probably, but there are technical reasons why that it is sort of structured that way. But it again, for the millionth time, it does illustrate that this stuff is not so cut and dry. You're never just going to find a pointer, slam the book shut, and be done with it. You're going to have to fiddle around, or at least never for me. I mean, maybe there are some people out there that just that nail the pointer the first time every time. And man, wouldn't I love to be one of those. But for me, I always have to mess around with this stuff a little bit. So we're going to restart it. I don't even remember what we did last time. Did we go to continue XYZ? Yeah, or XVC. He must have been. I remember typing that in at some point in a previous life. So we'll make a new character and run through this just a couple more times. Because if we were going to, go, I mean, we don't have to, because Resifence and other people as well have put up tables and trainers and whatnot to where you can just cheat however you want in this game. But for our purposes, we're just going to do it a couple more times to prove the point. We've restarted the computer. We've reloaded a bunch of different games. We're creating a new game. If it works this time, I'm just going to shut it down and say, that's it. We're done. We got it. No value. Oh, son of a bitch. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, we had to go all the way back to 1 that time. Not a fucking thing. What the fuck is that about? It's because we didn't reassociate it? Yeah, it's because I'm a total fucking idiot. Yeah, of course I want to keep the code. Okay, alright. Just, god damn. Oh, okay, it's been a long day, alright? What do you want from me? You recorded a lot of videos, so, okay. Am I that stupid? Did I really not just reassociate it? I didn't even close the game down. Did I? I need to really pay attention to what I'm doing. Do that. Do this. No. Cancel. Close it. Yeah, okay, thanks. Monaco. Restart the game. Yeah, that's... God, what the hell is wrong with me? Okay, so not only do you have to be careful for things like manage code, you have to be careful for things like your own goddamn stupidity. Which clearly I possess an abundance of. Yep, I don't know. What's something funny? I'm totally frickin' retarded. I don't even know what to say about that. I might have to go change my pants. Or I thought I did, until I realized I was just stupid. So, in case it goes without saying, or in case, you missed that, you have to actually reassociate Cheat Engine with the new game. Yeah. Alright. 34, 34. Oh, man. I don't even know what to say about that. So I'm just going to stop talking about it. You know what? I don't even know what... That never even happened. One last test. This is the last test. Gonna load the game. What do we got? 554. We got some time. Not that I need it, because I don't want to just... Okay, so 34, 34. Alright, one final thing. Fire up this. Just to really sort of beat this horse to death. Because now I'm really curious, like, was I that stupid where I didn't associate the... I mean, I can't pause it. I can't pause the video now and go back and watch it without stopping the video. So I have to sort of quell my own thoughts about, am I that stupid? I mean, I'm pretty sure I was that stupid, and that's fine. I got no problem being stupid, but I just want to make sure the pointers work, because if I'm going to post the videos, then I want to make sure that I'm not posting a video where the pointers are suddenly going to change when somebody else tries to do this, or the pointers are not going to work when somebody else tries to do this. So we're going to go, just jump right in, go to new game. We're going to reassociate cheat engine right here. Yep, obviously there's nothing. We'll check on it. All right, crazy value. Continue. Crazy value, crazy value. Confirm. Still crazy, still crazy. Starting to load. Maybe we're back to nothing. I bet these values just said, oh, we got 0. Oh, we got nothing. I don't know. Something's happening. Hit continue. See what we get. Now it's 34. All right. We have the right values. I thank you. I can't really take credit for that because that was a disgustingly ridiculous. I mean, I don't. Again, it's never cut and dry. If I had sat down and I wasn't actually talking while I was doing this, if you've ever watched a quick look on Giant Bomb or something, you'll occasionally hear people say, "Oh, well, sure, it's totally easy when I'm not talking." There is some truth to that. When you're sitting here talking and explaining what you're doing, and then you're actually doing it, and you're conscious of the fact that people might be watching what you're doing, there is definitely some, or at least for me, it kind of throws me off a little bit. Now, that being said, it's a managed code, and just it's a large game with lots of memory, lots of pointers. I can't scan 10 levels deep, so I mean there's some artificial constraints there, and it's just tricky. So more often than not, in my experience, when you are not doing code injection or AOB scans or anything like that we're going to start getting into, when you're simply searching for pointers, this is sort of some of the crazy stuff you're going to have to deal with. You're going to wind up backtracking, and then maybe jumping forward again and backtracking and just, trying to narrow it down. And, sometimes when you think you've got it, you don't. And, that's when it behooves you to, shut the game down, start it, load the same game, 10 times in a row, and make sure. And before you put a table up, just go through as rigorous testing as you can possibly handle, that you can stand on a mental basis before you put it up, because people who download tables expect them to work, and if they don't, then I mean nobody wants to deal with that. Closing comments. It probably shouldn't have taken this long to find it, but as I've said before, I hate tracking down pointers. It's easier to, I find it that it's easier to do code injection and overwrite certain methods and stuff, because the methods and whatnot are sort of pointer agnostic. You just, after their pointer, they don't really need a pointer because they're routines and they operate on, whatever is fed to them as a parameter, and we'll sort of explain this in greater detail. But what you do get into when you start dealing with that is shared data, and that's a whole world of pain on its own. But we're going to call this a done deal. This works. I've restarted my computer, restarted the game 1,000 times, load 20 save games, and my own stupidity aside, it's worked every time. So that is that, and we will get into more in the next video.